look at this on screen right now. You're winning Sacramento County. You're winning Napa. You're winning Napa County right now with 50% of the vote in. You're winning Napa. You're winning Sacramento. Incredible. I mean, is this a sign of things to come that Steve Hilton wins Sacramento?
Well, that's the big idea, that we take over the government. I'm heading there right now. I hadn't seen that. That's very cool. Excited to see that. I don't know. Something is happening in California. You see it in my race. You see it with Spencer in LA. We are done with it. And I think, I think the really big part of it is this fraud story that you've been such a big part of, Benny, because it's one thing to make all the political arguments that we make the whole time about, what's going wrong with this or that policy. But there's something that hits you in the gut about this fraud story, which is that people work so hard and they take so much of our money with their insane taxes that are the highest in the country. And then when you find out what they've been doing with our money, it just gets people so enraged. I really believe it's a big part of the revolution that we're going to see this year in California.
So can you talk to me about a governorship that actually counts votes on election night? That's the thing that has taken over my timeline. People are enraged. And they're just saying, why would you take a state that leads in so many other technological and scientific sectors, that is advancing AI and space travel and compute and in medicine, and we live in the most sophisticated and marvelous and wonderful time, and you count your votes like lobotomized cavemen? Why? What's going on?
Because this is what happens when you have a party that's in power for so long. There's no accountability. No one pushes back on them. It's just one party rule. So they feel they can get away with insane things and no one challenges it. So you had the Secretary of State, Shirley Weber, who's in charge of our elections in California, 2 days ago going out on the media and bragging about how long it was going to take and how, we have to be patient and it could take weeks. What? Yeah. What are you talking about? I mean, you just compare it with Florida or the other states, all of whom, by the way, have early voting. So there's nothing to do with that. Where you get results on election night, like normal places. You had even Nate Silver, I noticed, commenting that this is, his quote, I think, was, "This is failed state stuff." And that's exactly right. And it's exactly what you expect from people who've delivered high-speed rail, $200 billion over budget, 30 years late. I mean, this is just another monument to their uselessness.
And Steve, if for some horrific reason, I know that you are very sunny side of the street. This is just the way that God made you. You couldn't run in this race if you didn't have a chip on your shoulder and a stiff upper lip and the ability to see what could be in California. But let's say that they are planning on stealing this from you. Will you sue? I mean, what will be your action if suddenly there are ballot dumps that go 100% for Xavier or for Tom?
No, we're going to be all over it. We're not going to let them do that. The state wants change. And actually, so far, we're not seeing any signs of that. It is true that you get these late deliveries of ballots because we got this unbelievable rule that the ballots can arrive 7 days after Election Day and still be counted. By the way, the Supreme Court is considering their case that's going to make that illegal. And we're very confident that by November, that insanity of voting 7 days after Election Day effectively will be ruled illegal nationwide. So that's one of the reasons. And so we're definitely keeping an eye on it. But right now, our sense is that, even if you do get that kind of effect, it's not going to be enough to kick us out of the top two slots. And so we're feeling very confident about that right now.
You're heading to Sacramento today.
Yes.
I just want a vision cast here. What do you have planned when you get to Sacramento with the governor's pen? What are the first day agenda items? Let's galvanize the base one more time, because now comes the push into November, right? What will happen when Steve Hilton is in that chair?
Well, the first executive order, I actually published it the other day, and it's going to be to set up a taxpayer fraud strike force, which is a powerful team to immediately investigate and prosecute what we estimate is $425 billion worth of fraud, waste, and abuse over the past 5 years, including criminal negligence, if warranted, on the part of Gavin Newsom, Rob Bonta, the Attorney General, and any other official. Because remember, they were told about the fraud year after year by state agencies in California. For example, the state auditor reporting on $24 billion of homelessness fraud for years. And Newsom and Bonta and these people did nothing about it. So we're going to be making sure that on day one, we get that going. We're going to have accountability, including criminal accountability, if the evidence shows it. We're going to start by investigating and gathering that evidence. But the real point, of course, on top of that, is to make sure we start doing the things that people desperately need. Cut your costs, help your business, fix our schools. It's a combination of the budget that I sent to the legislature, including my tax plans. For example, your first 100 grand tax-free, implementing no tax on tips in state taxes, which has happened in most other states, but not California. Capping vehicle registration, which they used to completely gouge us. For many Californians, it's up hundreds of dollars a year, even over 1,000, where in most states it's under 100. Very simple, practical things to cut people's costs and reduce the bloat and bureaucracy in our government.
I just want to say a final thank you on behalf of our audience, Steve, for ending the careers of Eric Swalwell, who got less than 0.04% of the vote last night. Those are probably mail-in ballots that were already mailed before he dropped out of the race. And Katie Porter, who now can throw hot potatoes in peace at whatever bald head she's looking at the current moment. Katie Porter getting less than 5% of the vote last night.
Yeah,
she's effectively done.
I don't think there'll be much peace in her household. I don't know. We want to be within throwing distance this morning when you see those numbers.
Godspeed, Steve. Everybody follow Steve Hilton. Obviously, here's his social media. He's the man on a mission, the absolute total all-out winner last night with the total vote percentage right now with 64% recording and reporting. Ladies and gentlemen, the great Steve Hilton. Godspeed, man. I'm so proud of you. I'm just so proud
Benny.
of you.
I really appreciate it. I'm so happy we could speak this morning. As I said, you were there at the beginning, and it's wonderful to be with you today. Thank you.